You're here in the Simple Success Podcast, where you've landed well in your search for financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. We come to you on a regular basis with podcasts, webinars, and masterclasses, together aimed at freeing you from the change that the financial industry puts on all of us. Most of us don't even know what those changes are, and in this spirit, we're not going to try to solve problems people don't even know they have. No, instead, let's go up to common ground here. We can overcome, and we will do so. Join me for the ride of your life in a good way.
I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice.
Do your own research.
Consult a professional investment advisor before making any investment decisions.
This show is for entertainment only. Faites vos propres recherches.
Here we are
In another episode
of the Simple Success Podcast.
and
This is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective.
John, I think this is a financial goals discussion that is long overdue.
why?
Because there are so many people who, as is said, are living la vida loca. And so they want to be like them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Many times, the source of the wealth is unknown.
Plus, people sometimes exaggerate a bit about the lives they are living.
Yeah, it's like competing with the wind. You don't always know where the wind is coming from or where it's going. And if you're not careful, it will sweep you away.
I've seen that happen to some people who are chasing get-rich-quick schemes while letting monthly expenses get bigger and bigger.
That's sad.
Yeah, the only thing that they got quick was a dose of reality.
Nice sense of humor. If you were thinking about being an insurance agent, stop. They don't know humor.
Right. So we're going on here about how to be a millionaire wisely, but can we start off by talking about some of the how to be a millionaire traps?
Sure, DT, that's a good idea. I'd say that the first thing one should do is trust their gut instinct.
You mean, if I feel that some things aren't adding up with a plan or idea I'm being given, I should just say no?
That's what I'm saying. Your sixth sense is there for a reason. Animals still use their instincts to evade danger.
But
Because we've evolved as humans, we always try to reason with our gut instincts, and we let our rationalizing and emotions get in the way.
you're saying that if the deal is too good, I should think twice?
Yes, don't rush in. Many people rush in because they think they will miss out. It's a type of FOMO. They throw all caution to the wind.
What I don't understand is, even after seeing so many people being conned, others still fall for the same old tricks and traps.
Welcome to Earth, oh DT alien. That's human nature. We think it can only happen to others.
But greed may also have something to do with it, right?
Yeah, greed. One of the 7 deadly sins. If you let greed lead you, you will land in trouble, sometimes even with the law.
What other how to be a millionaire trap would you advise people to avoid?
The herd mentality, as it often makes people lose their hard-earned money.
I think being told how others are laughing all the way to the bank and how they can make it without breaking a sweat makes people sign away their life savings.
Don't believe everything you think. Question. Be inquisitive. Be a curious cat.
From what you're saying, it appears to me that unless one changes their mentality and thinks for themselves, they can be easily fleeced.
You have to be on the lookout.
That's right. I've received scam emails from scammers with all manners of tall tales.
Unfortunately, that can happen, and many people have fallen prey to these scammers. Do you reply to such emails?
Yes, I do.
Well, don't. Just delete them. They're only sending them to you because they want to know if you're a real person.
Sometimes I string them along playing with their minds. Other times I give them a piece of my mind.
If you want DT, it's not going to help. In fact, even if it makes you feel better, don't do it.
I'll need to know more about that. Maybe after...
Break number 1.
Hello, everyone. This is John with the Simple Success Podcast, financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Because we know you want to show us some serious love in return for the tremendous benefits you get from us. Please head over to the support link in our written show notes. That's the words on your podcast player. There, you can choose from a $9.99 per month doing level of support, a $4.99 knowing level, or a basic intro level of just 99 cents per month. Great place to start, whichever you choose. Thank you so much for helping us do this for you. And to leave us a voice message, which just might see the light of day in a future podcast, go to those same written show notes. You'll go to a site where you can leave a video, audio, or text-only message depending on how you feel at the moment. You can also send us an audio file attached to an email if you use just more than your phone for stuff. I won't repeat those links because weird. And anyway, show notes. It's all in there and it's all easy.
In the previous section, we established that it is unwise to chase after get-rich-quick schemes.
That's right. Now, where do we go from there?
Giving listeners tips on how one can be a millionaire wisely.
Okay, I'll go with that. The first wise tip I would give listeners is to start saving early. The easiest way to build your savings is to start early.
But that's mindset, right?
Yes, it is. So you, or maybe your virtual assistant if you have one, use your mind to take advantage of the power of compounding.
So, don't just know about it then?
Right. Say you're 20 years old. If you contribute the max to an individual retirement account every year for 40 years, your total investment would be pretty large. And that is another spreadsheet that all of my listeners can download.
Okay, I'm following. Still, that doesn't make me a millionaire.
That's because you have not counted yet on the power of compounding. Einstein called that the eighth wonder of the world, by the way.
My bad.
Compounding does the trick, DT. Make that annual cash flow big.
And
you'd be a millionaire without breaking any backs or worrying about any bear markets.
But yo, I've been living under a rock.
Right, but you're not alone, is what I should say. But I think I'll go with never mind then.
Seriously, though, that sounds so easy and doable. Yet many people do not take the initiative.
True, it's always the seemingly easiest things that are the hardest to do. Knowing and doing are two different things.
What else?
Cut out impulse buying. Stop purchasing things you don't need. That's not a path to millionaire status.
Oh, but you're throwing barbs at our consumer culture.
I know, DT, but these are things that must be said without, how do you say, sakamaya glazer?
Oh, sugarcoating.
Da, это слово.
Listen, as I sigh in English. What's one supposed to do when the impulse to shop till you drop is so strong you can't resist it?
You ask yourself 3 questions.
And which 3 is that?
1, do I want this item more than I want to become a millionaire?
My answer would be a loud no. What's the second question?
Do I really, really need this item?
I'll remember that in number 3.
Do I have a similar item already? Because if I'm thinking about goals, then it's the objective that I need to achieve. And if I have a similar item, maybe I can achieve it with that.
Those are fair questions.
Thank you. And let's do some more math, shall we?
Oh yeah, that's fun. As always, Alexa is ready with her calculator.
Okay. What's $25 a week for 40 years?
$25 a week, 52 weeks a year for 40 years is $52,000 US.
Thanks, Alexa. And that means what?
It means just do it.
But I want more.
Don't give in to lifestyle inflation.
I do whatever I want. That's success, right?
It is, by some people's definitions, but just don't spend more money without getting the long-term value you deserve.
I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Okay, if you get a raise at work, don't move to a better apartment and pay more money just because.
Don't say it. I know what I should do.
What's that?
save and invest and keep compounding the interest.
That is good, DT. If you want to become more than just an average millionaire, resist the urge to give in to lifestyle inflation.
Check, check, and check. Next.
A quick study army thinks have multiple sources of income.
I saw that coming, John.
As well you should. Economies are often capricious. Things change. There are job losses, and markets can also crash.
Those are good points.
Of course they are. And I would further tell you to not lose your saving momentum. This is a great option for beginners, and it's something we should spend more time on. So let's...
But first, break number 2.
We know a lot about you already because we know ourselves. For example, we know that you know how to listen to our podcast. We also know that you probably know how to subscribe. So as soon as you're done with that, tell us your story. We have ways you can contact us. It involves a special link where you can leave us a message. We may have an email address for you as well in the future, and we'll let you know if that happens. The reason for subscribing? I thought you'd never ask. When you subscribe, you automatically download all future episodes of that podcast. It just happens in your player without you having to go search again. How cool is that? This means better rankings for the podcast, more attention from advertisers, and more money. And this means more and better stuff for you. So your motivation is simple and easy. Subscribe today, whatever app and from whatever place you like. And don't just try to subscribe. There is no try. There is only do. We're changing the way we look at things, and remember, that's good. Eso es bueno, sebo. Also remember, this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Coaching happiness. Our call to action is right in the show notes. Find it, and you win too.
Can I simple that?
Por supuesto. Of course. Just simple it.
Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened and your tray tables are in their upright position.
And make sure simple is a verb like Google is a verb.
It's that time again, John.
What time?
Time for some bad debt. Oh, no, just JK. It's time to tie today's topic into investing. Like millions of people, I want to be a millionaire, but I want to turn theory into practice.
I hear you, DT. The first rule of thumb is that good things take time. It's only a few lucky people who will strike it rich overnight. And despite how we're motivated to follow that, don't follow it. Do what's right.
But I have learned that most of those people who strike it rich overnight lose all their money sooner or later. Why does that happen?
It's because they were not prepared to handle the responsibilities and the challenges that come with being wealthy.
Is that why lottery winners all say they're just going to fix the driveway?
It's something like that. Money comes with problems too.
But you have the fix, I'm sure.
I believe I do. If you're not psychologically prepared to handle $1 million, it can drive you crazy and make you do crazy things.
Yeah, I've heard of sports and music stars and other celebs who blew away their first millions. What did they lack?
They lacked two things: preparation and financial literacy.
I hope the next round of stars are listening.
I hope so too, DT. You cannot just give your toddler keys to your car and tell them to drive. They don't know the workings of a motor vehicle yet.
That's an excellent way to happen.
Exactly. And we'll use that later to help explain AI a bit.
Okay, can't wait. But for now, what are some other important words?
2 words. There are 2 of them.
And they are?
Patience and visualization.
Note to self. Patience pays.
It does. And this lesson applies no matter what your goal. But you can test it in investing.
Oh, man. One of those things I lack is patience.
Patience is a virtue, DT, like they say. You will learn it. Just like I have.
No time like the present. I'm the type of person who will sow a seed, and if it doesn't sprout after a couple of days, I'll dig up the soil to find out what's happening.
You know what you need to do in such a situation?
Eat my arms?
No, you could try that, but I'm thinking of the second word, visualization.
I knew that, but why didn't I ever think about it?
Can't be sure about that in your case, but sometimes the mind plays tricks on us and blocks solutions, although they're right in front of our eyes.
Visualize, DT, visualize.
Right. I know you visualized the lesson. Now, kindly share that with us, my friend.
Millions are made one dime at a time. One day at a time.
You can say that again, DT, but don't.
Okay.
No, don't. We did that joke last year.
Okay. Do not despise humble beginnings then.
And be respectful of hunches. No amount of money is inconsequential. Saving a little can get big fast.
What we're saying is that folks should do away with the fallacy of just concentrating on big bucks while ignoring pocket change, right?
Thinking that way every day is the winning solution.
Every dime counts, right?
Yes, every dime counts. If one can have that attitude, they can not only reach millionaire status, but stay in that status with actionable goals.
That's good.
Also, maintain and grow that status. Don't give in to anyone else's ideas.
You mean, when I reach millionaire status, there will be forces that will try to pull me down?
Oh yeah, you got that right. That's where things like attitude, discipline, and persistence come into play.
I am going to be the first millionaire in my family.
That's the spirit, DT. You can absolutely do this.
It's only a matter of time. So yeah, when I make my first million, when I have that kind of access to cash, I'll still come here to share the lessons that I've learned.
That's wonderful, DT. That's what all of our listeners need, but just learned?
Yeah, well, learned and practiced.
Which is how you've all gotten good.
Gracias por escuchar.
Salut. À la prochaine.
This podcast and our other podcast are productions of Little Red Hen Industries. The supporting cast who helps me bake the bread includes
Techno King, John C. Brandy, Alter Ego, Doubting Thomas, Fact Checker, A Small Brown Beef Animal, Very Very Small, Seriously, Tiny, Facts Really Are Not That Big, French Consultant, OpenAI, Social Manager, Virginia Mitchell, Media Expert, Favor Abassi Ike, Psychologist, William James, Rabbit Hole Advisor, Dr. Mark Perrott, Sound Designer, Adobe's Creative Suite, Spanish Consultant, Cameron J.K. Brandy, Videographer, Eto Mon Koshki, Audio Props, Les Paul, Inspiration, many podcasts and other sources, and of course Napoleon Hill.
We also have websites, and you can subscribe to both podcasts. You can even send us a video, audio, or text message. But of course, you'll have to head to the show notes, either on your phone or on the web, to get the links and stuff. I really doubt that you would pay me to read the URLs where you can subscribe, support, or leave one of those video or audio messages. And anyway, all the clickable links are in the show notes.
And before we forget, the artificial intelligence or AI voices you hear in our work come from Google, Amazon Polly, and OpenAI, like we say in the show notes. We just love what AI can do when lovingly crafted.
Finally, you can find us on Podmatch.com, Matchmaker.fm, Podbooker and Podcast Guests, where we consider guests and consider guesting on other people's shows.
And really finally, the music for our pods comes from Cute by Bensound and from Piano Background by Nick Simon Adams, as well as from AI MuseNet. The sound effect credits go to Jackson Academy Ashmore, Canusi G, Dr. Jekyll, Joe Payne, Everything Sounds, MK Play More Stories, ERH, Sand Emotions, Big Pickle 51, and Just Kidding. Yes, that's his or her name. All on freesound.org. Also, languages are the bomb.
Pull.